for my time.
Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. Vlog number 246. Yes. This week is dragging on. It's kind of dragging on. Oh, I can't wait till I go to my vacation. 2 weeks. 2 more weeks on vacation. By the way, you're doing more God of War footage because I'm way too dark right now in terms of exposure. So, I can't wait for 2 weeks. It's gonna be so good. The only thing I'm kind of dreading is like the first day of the flight. Because, I mean, I know there's really no other way around it. I kind of planned on it a little bit. My flight's not until the afternoon, right? I plan on like a 3:20 flight or something. I work overnights, so I got up at 6 in the morning. So what I plan to do is get home after work and do whatever finishing up packing I need to do. You know, take my good ass time doing it. Maybe take a hour or two nap, and that's it. Just kind of nap it and get to the airport and sleep on the plane. And I'm gonna be dog tired by the time we get on that plane. And then hopefully that, you know, even though I won't get as much sleep as I wanted to or as I should, hopefully by that night I'll be like really tired and I'll be able to like go to bed at a reasonable time, because I'm trying to get my sleep schedule onto like a normal human schedule for my vacation. Because, you know, I don't want to go to my buddy's house and all right, well, you guys go ahead, go on to bed. I'm going to be up until like 6 in the morning. Then I'm going to sleep all day. And, you know, and we're not going to be able to do things. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to get on a normal human sleep schedule for that time being. It's going to be tough. But I'll do what I can. What's also going to be tough is coming home. Because coming home, I had planned on I'm taking a flight that's later in the night. Like it's like almost like it's like 7 o'clock at night or something, 6 o'clock, something like that. By the time I get home, it'll be nearly midnight, and that'll be on a Friday. Now, stupid me, I was having concern from my coworkers that on that Saturday, that following Saturday, I'm going to work, like the day after I come back from my vacation, or the night after I come back from my vacation. So I'm going to come back from my vacation, and my sleep schedule is going to be fucked up, and I'm going to have to go to work that night. Only because that Saturday was only, you know, me and one other guy. And I don't want to do that to, you know, the other guy 2 weeks in a row, because the Saturday before that I'd be out of town. He's going to have to work by himself. Excuse me for being considerate. As if I get, you know, there's no like delays or nothing on the flight and I have to come back the next day. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But other than that, other than like the adjusting my sleep schedule to be more human and readjusting it back to be more vampire, vacation's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Now that I used up a lot of my time that I wanted to speak about the subject that I was thinking about yesterday. You ever notice that there are really, how should I say, they're really dumb, smart people? I think that was like a line from a movie or something. You know, like, it's like, oh, this guy, you know, he's a rocket scientist, and on one hand he's a rocket scientist, but on the other hand he doesn't know how to make macaroni and cheese because he's never done it before. You know, that's a dumb smart person. You know, something that common sense should cover. But they have book smarts and not other smarts. I mean, it could be, you know, there's all kinds of smarts that you can have as a person. Street smarts, common sense, book smarts, things like that. But, and excuse me for being a, you know, leftist, liberal, or whatever. I'm a progressive, goddammit. And this could be a very from the left progressive thing I'm going to say here, but people like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, if you know those names, and depending on where you're on the you know, red or blue scale, you'll have an opinion one way or another. But those are what I consider dumb, smart people. They can speak intelligently, sometimes a little bit too intelligently for their own good. And let me explain that real quick. Is that they toss a lot of like big and intelligent sounding words at you, but they don't really mean anything. They have meaning, of course. All words have meaning, but they're like dumping all these words on you when they could have said something a lot more simpler. But they said it in a broad, intelligent way to make them sound smarter than you are. And that is their tactic to destroy you or to win an argument. But for people who are actually smart and are paying attention, it doesn't work. Now, the other tactic that they use, especially people like Ben Shapiro, is that not only is he using, you know, big, you know, long, protracted words that it's unnecessary words, he also speaks very fast. Everything he says is very fast. And he just like, he blurts everything out so fast. And not only that, he overtalks you. You know, if you somewhat stumble on your word, he got you. He quote unquote won. And like, he'll jump right in and try to eviscerate you. This is like in a debate forum or any type of discussion that you're having back and forth with a person like Ben Shapiro. However, these people, they're, you know, and I'm in no way gonna like give very good examples of this because I have sample material on me to show you, and there's plenty of other YouTubers out there that have already taken these morons down a peg or two or five. You know, you check out Hugo and Jake's channel. That's Bible Reloaded. Amazing Atheist, and a couple other people. Check out debates with Matt Dillahunty. Of course, a lot of political debates with, you know, Ben Shapiro and stuff. And they usually take him down, but of course, you look at the comments or you look at people who are on the side of, you know, Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson. They think, oh, look at that. You know, they destroyed that lefty moron. I'm like, did we watch two different debates? I digress. The thing is, though, you could tell that they are smart, but they use the same dumb arguments over and over again. I'll use fucking Ben Shapiro as a good example. You know, right now in kind of like the political landscape, if you look at, you know, the progressives, a lot of progressives, like Bernie Sanders, they're pushing for a form of democratic socialism, akin to the Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and the like. And in those countries, it works great. And they're not advocating to copy them exactly, but they want to take what works and mold it to work for America. I see nothing wrong with that. But, of course, people like Ben Shapiro, and of course a lot of people on the right, a lot of people on the Fox News, whenever they hear the word socialism, they focus on that word specifically, and they do this on purpose, and they know what they're fucking doing. And this is the thing that tells me, that they're being, a dumb, smart person, is that to us, when we hear them over and over and over again, we're like, you're fucking dumb. But they're being smart because they know what they're saying has been debunked many times, but they keep saying it because they know their base keeps listening to what they are saying. So what they say is, oh, look, Bernie Sanders, he advocates for socialism. They don't even use the word democratic at that point. And he's like, they want to turn us into like a Venezuela type country, and people will be eating rats and what? No. In no way, shape, or form are progressives advocating for what Venezuela has. And these people know it. They straight up know it because they've been told that many, many times by many, many people. But yet they keep saying it because it promotes their narrative. So, what to do? And that's just one example out of many. There's so many more examples of the dumb things that people like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson say over and over again that they know are untrue or has been debunked or just they're simply wrong on. Yet they'll keep saying it because it promotes their narrative. And my little tip for whenever you see people like that say certain things over and over again, no matter what forum they're at, and they say something, it's like, wait a minute, I heard them say that before. Look into it more. Think a little deeply, kind of read between the lines, and see what they're really saying. For example, I'll bring up Ben Shapiro again. Because he's more on the political spectrum. A lot of things he says is straight up falls in line with your typical right-wing Republican, pro-capitalist, pro-corporatist mindset. And it's always like, oh, poor people should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And they totally ignore all the other things like how our social systems are working right now, that we're actually keeping poor people down forcefully. These poor people, in this country, and poor, lower class, lower middle class people, they can't afford an education. They can't get time to afford to even get an education if they even had the money for it, because a lot of times they're working, 2 full-time jobs or 3 part-time jobs. So when are they going to have the time or money to get an education to better themselves? And not only that, but because of cutting of taxes for these corporations and stuff, and allowing them to do these massive mergers between corporations, creating monopolies. A lot of these companies right away, what they do right away when they merge and stuff, they cut redundancy. Basically, they cut jobs. And so you get all these companies that are becoming more and more massive, more and more rich, but having fewer and fewer employees. A lot of that is due to things like automation, and yes, there is outsourcing. So there's a lot of problems with that, but there are a lot of jobs in this country, just that they're all shitty jobs. So what do you do about that? Well, I mean, for one thing, we have to do something, and I'm not advocating for some kind of like weird force, but we got to have some kind of laws that, companies can't skirt, tax loopholes. We got to get rid of tax loopholes. And not only that, we have to, in my mind, we have to bring back unions. Unions in this country at one point in time, there's a lot of people against unions, but at one point in time, they were only there to fight for the worker, to represent the worker. They used to call it, collective bargaining. Basically, they bargained on the behalf of all the workers of the company in terms of their benefits, how they're treated, their pay, vacation, things like that. And at one point in time, unions used to be the bulk. If you were in any type of corporate job or somewhat large labor job or something, there was usually a union that was there to protect you. Now, like 6% of jobs are unionized now, and that's ridiculous. You hear Republicans all the time rallying against unions, like, oh, unions are so bad, but yet they'll never say anything bad against like police unions. Police unions are great. That's kind of hypocritical to me. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but again, people like Ben Shapiro and like Jordan Peterson, and there's many more. I just use those names because right now they're kind of in my mindset right now because I've been watching a lot of videos about them. They just have this narrative that it's extremely misleading, and as long as I guess they stick to it, they win, I guess, or they win whatever the arguments they're trying to argue for. But check out some of those channels I mentioned before. I'll put links down in the comments, and you'll see what I mean. It's frustrating to watch and I know me, I'm not as well versed as some of these other people who do go out and like talk about these two characters, or even go a step further and actually debate them. I can never do that. I mean, I probably can. I'd have to like really study up and learn my shit. I'm not saying I'm smarter than them. I'm just saying that I can spot bullshit when they spout bullshit, When they spout it, I can see it. And unfortunately, a lot of their fans and followers, I have to imagine that they, for some reason, can't see the bullshit. They're indoctrinated, I guess. I don't know. Alright, that's about it. I've been rambling off long enough, and I'm really tired. I'm kind of slurring my words. That's all for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. I love you.
Whoa!